Hey guys, back again, and this time I'm just shooting these back to back because I want to start to get through this. Excuse me. This will be part two of my Italian film collection. This go around it will be my Shriek Show releases, and this will also be kind of a longish video, guys. So I'll try and get on with it. And once again, it's a video response to Miss Poppy 90. Again, I'll leave her link below on this video. Please go check out her channel, give her a sub, and see what's what. Seems like a super cool YouTuber. So, without further ado, guys, this is Italian Collection Part 2, the Shriek Show releases. First up, guys, is Zombie Holocaust from, I don't know the year, guys, but late 70s, I think, or early 80s, somewhere in there, by Marino Girolami. And this one is kind of a combination of Italian zombie film and Italian jungle cannibal film. Excuse me, it's not terrific, but it's a lot of fun though. The next one is Umberto Lenzi's Eaten Alive, which was his second jungle cannibal film. Kind of revolves around the sort of Jonestown-like cult in the middle of the jungle, surrounded by hungry cannibals. Interesting premise. It is criticized, of course, heavily for using stock footage from Mountain of the Cannibal God, among other films. So, but it's still fun. And this was, I'm not even sure about the year, guys, but 1979 or 80, maybe 80. Next up, guys, is Joe D'Amato's Anthropophagus, which was, I think, on the Video Nasty list. Great film with George Eastman, plays this cannibal stalking these kids on an island. A little slow moving at parts, but it does have some great gore, and it's one of my favorites. Next up, another Umberto Lenzi film, but this is probably my favorite of his giallo films, and this is Seven Bloodstained Orchids. A really great story, and of course features a fantastic score by Riz Ortolani, so worth a look for sure. Next up, guys, is The Man from Deep River, which was the first of the jungle cannibal films coming out of Italy. This is also directed by Umberto Lenzi. As I've stated in other videos, not as gory as some of the ones that follow, but it had a good story, and it was, started the whole craze, so should get some props for that. Next up is Jungle Holocaust. Not as famous as Deodato's Cannibal Holocaust, but still a very good movie. Excuse me. Slightly slower, I think, than some of the other cannibal movies. I still really liked it, and some good gore in it as well. That's Jungle Holocaust. Next up is Massimo Dallamano's What Have You Done to Solange, which is, at this point, out of ones I've seen, is my favorite giallo film up to this point. I think it's somewhat underrated. Starring Fabio Testi, and it has a great score, once again, by the master Ennio Morricone. So definitely one to check out. The next one of the sleazier giallo films I've ever seen. This is Fernando De Leo's Slaughter Hotel, aka Asylum Erotica. serious crime films, but I actually really enjoyed this. It also features Klaus Kinski. Excuse me. Next up is Joe D'Amato's Beyond the Darkness. Kind of deals with necrophilia, has some incest themes. It's a pretty crazy movie. One of Joe's best directed, I feel, though. And a really great score by Goblin on this one. So it's definitely worth a look. Next up, another Ruggiero Deodato film. This is House on the Edge of the Park. Again, has a few parallels to Last House on the Left. In fact, it even stars David Hess in a very similar role. It also features another great Italian genre actor, Giovanni Lombardi Radice. Kind of features these two nasty dudes get invited to this party, and then they start screwing with the party goers, and then the party goers kind of turn the tables. But I don't really want to say a whole lot more, guys. But this is really good. It's worth taking a look at, rather. Next up is an 80s giallo film by Lamberto Bava. And this one's not fantastic. It is fairly sleazy. It is pretty interesting. It's worth a go if you can find it cheap. Next up, guys, is Erotic Nights of the Living Dead. It's like one part porno, one part zombie film, and somehow Joe D'Amato makes it work. I actually really enjoy this film. I thought George Eastman was fantastic in it. It's got a little bit of schlock to it, but it's overall, I found it to be pretty good. Even has some good tension when the zombies come up out of the ground. And it also features Laura Gemser, famous from the Black Emmanuel films. Next up, we stick with more Joe D'Amato sleaze, and this is Porno Holocaust. Another absolute classic film. George Eastman also is in this one, and it features real hardcore sex, and it also has these folks on an island. They're investigating this island after it was used for nuclear testing. And it's mutating some of the sea creatures, so they go there to investigate, and basically one of the folks that lived on the island never left and was turned into sort of this mutant who rapes women to death and so on. It's a crazy little film, but worth checking out. Next up is a classic giallo from Lucio Fulci. It's Lizard in a Woman's Skin, very psychedelic, stars Florinda Balkan. About a woman who has all these dreams that she's killed her neighbor. And it comes out that her neighbor was brutally murdered, and so she's trying to figure out if maybe she, somehow had killed her neighbor. It's very psychedelic. It's got a really great score as well. Definitely worth checking out for sure. Next one, guys, is a made-for-TV movie by Lucio Fulci called House of Clocks. I have to admit I haven't properly watched this film, but I've heard a lot of good things, so it's definitely high on my list of stuff to get to soon. Pretty gory, I guess, as well for a made-for-TV film. Excuse me. Next up is back to Joe D'Amato, and this is Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals. It's one of the Black Emmanuel films with Laura Gemser. It sort of mixes the Emmanuel kind of sleaze sexploitation type film with an actually quite a good jungle cannibal adventure. I think he pulled it off well. It's probably my favorite Black Emmanuel film, actually. So definitely worth picking up. If you can find it, I think this one's out of print. And lastly, guys, one of my all-time favorite giallo films. It's Sergio Martino's All the Colors of the Dark, starring George Hilton, Edwige Fenech, Ivan Razumov, Niv Navarro. I mean, you know, the who's who of Italian actors in giallo. This one, again, is very psychedelic. Got some great tension in it and a fantastic score by Bruno Nicolai. So this one's an absolute must-have and must-see. Again, this Shriek Show edition is out of print, so it might be a little difficult to come by. But anyway, guys, that wraps it up for part 2. Probably won't get to the rest of the parts until maybe next weekend. I don't know. I wanted to get a couple up quick so I could start putting this stuff away again. You know, again, I'm going to leave Miss Poppy's link below. Please go check her out. And as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch up with you later.